go. Let's move on. Jason, next.
Hey, I wanted to be quick and just straight to the point. I think there needs to be a study, hopefully, sponsored by an independent body or the government, with the FCC. What I'm talking about is sub-audibles and how that influences the nervous system. Ross A-Day was hired by the Department of Defense in the 1960s to see how television could be used to emotionally induce the public towards swaying opinion one way or another. And I got really interested in this when I started seeing a lot of my own circles being in conflicts with each other, substantiated by emotion, not by logic. And the sub-audibles is anything below 50 hertz. The ELF range is below 20 hertz, and nervous system response to mostly emotional response that are consistent throughout the human nervous system below 10 hertz. So I just wanted to make that point because, Dr. Roberts did mention television being a big factor in this, but it wasn't emphasized. And I think this needs to be looked at. Not so much the neurolinguistic programming, not so much the subliminal stuff with the 1 frame per 30 frames per second. This is overlooked completely. And I got a demonstration of it right here. Anything below the red line is 50 hertz. Anything below that line right there is 20 hertz. And here is the EMF readings right here. This is just a demonstration. It's not an actual study. I don't know how to read alpha to thetas on EEGs, but to establish causation, you got to demonstrate with a blind study where you have the sub-audibles and without the sub-audibles, the same stimuli.
Thank you, Jason. Is there some law on sub-audibles? I thought there was.
I looked and I couldn't find it, but maybe I don't know where to look.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing as subliminal stimulation?
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
it's not. Sub-audibles,
okay.
which is below the 20 hertz range. A lot of it could be grounding issues, like on public access TV. It's not even existent, but that's probably because they don't have grounding on their facilities. What I found in my initial findings is that there were unique signatures that were repeated, not just like astromatic or astrological conditions or from the sun or whatever. These were things that were shaped in forms that were repeated. Like you see these little hooks in the EFF chart, and what I'm wondering is if we get established causation, if this is abuse, and if it is, maybe do some studies to see what they're trying to do with the associated imagery as far as rewiring our brains.
Jason, may I ask where you are? Are you in Australia or America?
Chicago, US.
Okay, are you a friend of Joshua? The J6?
I'm a friend, Thomas in Wisconsin. He's the one that invited me to this.
I see. Okay, very good.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Interesting point. I remind everyone for the John Bodwin. Was it Stephen? Was it John Bodwin who gave us? Yes, it was the chart of movies that have also been blatantly influencing our thinking. Jason. So John Bodwin, if you go to the Rumble channel, he's there, and he put this chart up. Stephen, remember those movies? And went through the whole range of movies.
I do remember them.
Sorry, Stephen?
Yeah, I do remember them, but I can't recall, Charles.
I'll put the link, Jason, make it easy for you into his recording, because it's worth having a look at that analysis of those influential movies. Now, Lisa James.
I learned a lot from that. I really appreciate it. But Jason, you might have missed this in the chat. I just had a quick question. Since I really am going to look over this work you did on the entrainment tech, because it's hard to find any documentation on that. But until I do it, just a quick question. In your opinion, if you have an opinion, is most of this stuff disabled by use of a projector? I mean, is it something that's pretty much confined to smart television use and, fancy electronics, 4Ks and all that? Do you have an opinion on that at all?
It's the speakers, so it's sound. It's sonic, but sub-audible.
Okay.
The projection, whatever, really doesn't matter, unless if you're looking at the associated imagery and how that's rewiring our brains, with the actual context of the content presented. So a lot of it's on the subconscious level, the emotional level. It's not the rational level at all.
Okay. If you want to, if you care to direct message me or email or something. I might have some questions for you. You're the first guy I met that's done any work on this like directly, so I'm very interested.
I'd be happy to. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, John. Jerry?